Thank you guys for joining us this morning. Welcome to our August session of the Daring to Learn value-added webinar series. My name is Alaina Boyd. I know most of you guys on this morning live with us, but if you'll be joining us later for the recorded version of this session, my name is Alaina Boyd. I am with the University of Tennessee Center for Profitable Agriculture, and most of the time you guys will see me kind of as your moderator and kicking off each session each month, but I will actually be presenting this morning, and we are going to be talking about using Meta Business Suite. So the title of this session today is Business Suite Basics. And gonna move right in. So here's a little bit more about me. We'll just kind of touch on this briefly. Like I said, I am an extension assistant in the Center for Profitable Agriculture. Our office is part of UT Extension. We're based in Columbia, Tennessee, and I mostly focus in value-added agriculture marketing. So you may have seen some of our past sessions from either myself or our marketing specialist here in the center, Megan Lefew. You can find our content on the center's YouTube channel, and that's just a little bit about us. And kind of a disclaimer before we get started here. This presentation is strictly for informational purposes only. So any social media platform that I talk about or any kind of the other information in this presentation, it's just for educational purposes and is in no way an endorsement by the center or any of our team. And kind of a high-level overview here of some of the things that we're going to be talking about in this session kind of include what is Meta. So we're going to go over what is Business Suite, what is Meta, what's the difference between Facebook and Instagram, things like that. Then the basics of Business Suite and some other helpful things to know. So kind of jumping straight in to answer the question, what is Meta? You may have heard of that before. You may be kind of confused. You may know of Facebook and Instagram. So this slide kind of gives us sort of a high-level overview of the timeline from Facebook starting in 2004 all the way to 2023 with the latest release of Threads. That's the newest Meta social media platform. And you can see from this timeline here, Meta did not actually exist until 2021. So if you've had past experience before with running a Facebook page or using an Instagram account, either for your personal use or for like a business page, you may have used that past Pages experience. I think they used to call that Pages Manager. So everything switched over to be branded under Meta in 2021. And this gentleman over here on the right, you may recognize him. That's Mark Zuckerberg. So he is one of the founders of Facebook. Started way back when he was in college, and now he is the CEO for Meta and one of the kind of driving forces behind the metaverse and all the fun things that they do with Facebook and Instagram and their other platforms. So diving straight into Meta Business Suite, you may be still kind of wondering what exactly is Meta Business Suite. This screenshot was taken straight from the Facebook Business Tools, just to kind of give you an overview of the landing page that you'll hit once you get to that, that Business Suite starting point. So Business Suite is kind of an all-in-one platform that lets you manage your business Facebook page and any other assets that you add into that business portfolio in one place. So that includes professional Instagram accounts, any Meta ad accounts that you may add. Meta Business Suite just gives you kind of a one-stop shop to handle all those needs in one spot. And then you can kind of see here, once you get to this landing page, they've got some options for you to move through, and a chance to click this blue Start Now button and to get started. So some of the some of the benefits of using Meta Business Suite that I wanted to touch on. These are going to be different, I think, for every person. Kind of the pros and cons for using Business Suite would be different depending on the needs of your business. But I would say the biggest feature to hone in on is that you can post to Facebook and Instagram at the same time. Business Suite gives you an opportunity to, you can manage your inbox. So say you get a message from someone to an Instagram account that it doesn't go across to your Facebook profile. Business Suite gives you a chance to see both of those, and you can see all the activity across either your Facebook page or Instagram account, kind of at a glance, just in a single dashboard. So there are a lot of other helpful tools inside Business Suite that we'll touch on briefly as we move through this presentation. But I do want to kind of make note as we move forward. If you guys are hoping for more of an in-depth look at the meta ads and posting ads through Business Suite, I won't be diving into that this month. Actually, later this year, we will have an ads specific presentation. So we'll be sticking strictly to the basics for this, but hopefully that will still be pretty beneficial for you all. So some key things to keep in mind before you start and try to get working in Meta Business Suite. One big thing to note, you must have a personal Facebook account. This is required in order to move on to the steps that we're going to look at next. I know some folks have mixed feelings about social media. You may not want a personal Facebook account. Unfortunately, without a personal Facebook page, you cannot create a business portfolio. You need that. That's kind of sort of a fail-safe, just to make sure that there's a real person at the other end of that business portfolio trying to manage those business pages. So just keep that in mind. You do need a personal Facebook account in order to get started. Instagram accounts are not necessary, but if you do have existing Instagram accounts for your business, you can go back and link those later after that Facebook account has been set up. So just keep that in mind. Pointer has got away from me. Let's see. There we go. All right. So another thing to note, just kind of as we're kicking off with some of the nitty gritty for starting a business portfolio in Business Suite. You are only allowed to create 2 of what they call business manager accounts tied to a single personal Facebook account. So that make it kind of confusing. You've got your one personal Facebook page. So in my instance, Alaina Boyd's Facebook page, I'm only allowed 2 business manager accounts to be tied to that personal Facebook page. So this screenshot here was actually taken from my account. I had reached the limit of business portfolios, and as you can see, it kind of gives you some other options. Kind of best practice for this would be to, once you hit that limit of business portfolios, have someone else, ideally a business partner if you're husband and wife. If the wife reaches her limit, then the husband can make one. Let's see, we got a question in the chat box. Kind of related to this. Do you need to be active? So this question in the chat box asks, do you need to be active on the personal account for them to maintain your business or personal account? I quit Facebook for a few years ago and don't really care to maintain that. So this is something we'll touch on later in the presentation. I would say try to keep it active. You don't necessarily have to post all the time, but maybe once you get your business page started, if every so often you maybe want to share a post from your business page, that might be a good rule of thumb. And that this kind of last bullet point down on this slide can kind of expand on that a little bit. It's getting harder and harder, I think, to bypass things like that because Meta is working very hard to verify folks' identities related to these business accounts and business profiles. So if maybe you wanted to try to work around the limit for business portfolios by creating multiple personal profiles, or if you get locked out of one, it can get difficult in the future for Facebook to verify that you're really you. So kind of in the same line of not making a new Facebook profile with your name. If you hit your portfolio limit, try to keep an existing Facebook account at least semi-active. It doesn't have to be often. And I don't know that there's really a good time limit for that, maybe once every 6 months or so. But you just want to be able to prove that this is really your account. You're really the one posting, in case you ever run into any issues. I don't know if that necessarily answered your question, but hopefully that's helpful. And just jumping straight into kind of the bones of creating a business portfolio. So ideally at this point in time, you would have created your personal Facebook account already, or you would have logged in. And so the first thing you would want to do is to navigate to this business.facebook.com URL. It's going to prompt you to create an account. So once you click create an account, a screen similar to this should come up, and you're going to want to fill in this information for your business portfolio to get started. Note that this does specifically ask for a business email. I would use a business email for this portfolio rather than just your personal email. I know sometimes that gets hard. And if you don't have a business email already, maybe you're not at that stage for your organization or for your farm, creating a Gmail is a really quick and easy process. It's simple, and you can use that Gmail kind of in the beginning to get started making your Meta business portfolio. So after you have filled in those prompts and you click to create an account, at some point in time, you'll reach a landing page that looks like this. So this is a blank dashboard. I actually went through and filled one of these out just so we would have screenshots to show you guys of what this would look like as we move through. As you can see, there are not any Facebook pages or Instagram accounts connected to this portfolio, so it's just an empty portfolio. And you can see we've got our notifications, inbox, content, all these things we will be able to use later in our slides further in the presentation we'll touch on. We've got all those tools to the left side, and then this section here in the middle is what I'm going to call your dashboard as we keep moving through. So just keep that in mind. But this is what your blank business portfolio should look like. And at some point in time between when you clicked that blue create button and now, you should have gotten an email in that business email that you provided with something in the subject line similar to claim or confirm your business portfolio account. And after you do that, you'll be brought back into this dashboard, and you can get into your settings tab here, and it will pull up this business portfolio info. And of course, this is still our blank portfolio that I showed you guys earlier, so there's not a lot of information in here. But notice this business portfolio ID here. It might be good practice to either take a picture of this or save that for the future, just so you have that on hand. And if you create another business portfolio, obviously that second portfolio ID is going to be different. It may be similar, but it will be different for each portfolio. And of course, we've got more options here that we'll work through in the next couple of slides. So as I mentioned, you should have gotten that email already for confirming your business email. Follow those prompts, and eventually you will hit a page like this. And here is where you're going to start putting in more of your business information. So notice that it specifically asks for the legal name of your business. If you're not to the point where you have that yet, an LLC, or maybe you don't have any official documents, that's okay. I would just try to put in whatever your professional business name might be, and Facebook can walk you through in the future the process on how to change some of that. But notice down here, there is this option for a tax ID. So we talked earlier about how Meta is really working hard to try to verify people's identities, to try to keep accounts safe and try to make sure that whoever is acting on behalf of a business page is really supposed to be the person that's making those posts or making those changes. If you have a tax ID, it wouldn't hurt to put that in there, especially when you move towards ads or anything like that. It may ask you for this again in the future. It's just sort of kind of an extra layer of protection so they can match the information you've provided to any business records you may put in later. Let's see, we've got a Q&A again. Let's check that. Tax ID or farm ID. Tax IDs can be your social security number. So this doesn't necessarily specify, and if that's something that you're worried about with your tax ID, I would say not to put in your personal social security number, just whatever would be associated with your business. But that is optional also. So if you're not comfortable putting that in now, or say you're not to the stage where maybe you have one of those yet, you can wait until a later date to fill that in. But definitely, I would not recommend putting in your like personal individual social security number, if that makes sense. Ready. And once you get that business information in, we'll move on into this next step. So you'll be ready to start adding your business assets. And all those assets are referring to in terms of your business suite, business portfolio, are things like a Facebook page, your Instagram profile, or if you end up needing to use Meta ads in the future, that Meta ad account would also count as a business asset. And you can get to this page. This will be under your business portfolio info inside your settings. So you'll just tab down to this business assets tab. And this is what it should look like with your blank portfolio before you get any information started. If you have an existing page already, like I touched on earlier, you can add those here. It'll walk you through how to do that once you click into these little blue buttons. So I kind of want to talk you through claiming an Instagram account and bring your attention here to this little text box. So say you have an existing Instagram account already, and similar to what we touched on with your personal Facebook page versus a business Facebook page, this it will pop up and basically just explains that you can only add what Instagram calls a professional account to a business portfolio. So say you have a farm Instagram account already, but it's just been sort of a normal Instagram account. You've not changed it to either a business or an influencer account or anything like that. This is just letting you know that it has to be switched over to a professional account rather than a personal one in order for you to claim it inside your business portfolio. So once you do this, it'll swap it over and it'll be moved into your business portfolio, and you'll just click this blue claim Instagram account button again, and you should be ready to rock. And then ideally, once you get through that step, you should have a page that looks like this. So now instead of having just a blank business assets page, we've got an Instagram account here. Notice that this status section says that login is needed. That's just another one of those extra fail safes for you to log back in. You'll confirm on the Instagram end that you want to claim this account and tie it to a business portfolio. So there are lots of checks and balances going on across Meta just to make sure you do want to do this. They're confirming that you're the person with access. So ideally, you would have the password and all the username information for your account, so it would be no trouble to get in and claim that. But just something to make note of. Now, we touched earlier on meta ads, and I did let you guys know earlier in the presentation, I'm not going to go high level into this at all. I just did want to show you this. That way you're kind of familiar with it when you get to that point in the future. When you click to add a meta ads account into your business portfolio, a box like this is going to come up. And this is basically just letting you know that if you have an existing ad account already and maybe it's tied to something else, once you add a meta ads account into Business Manager, that can't be removed. It's my understanding that folks have been able to run ads before outside of a business portfolio, and maybe that's how you end up with a meta ads ID outside of a situation like this. But just keep that in mind. Once you tie that to a business portfolio, you can't undo that. Now, ad accounts are not for everybody. That is okay. You may never, ever want to run an ad on Facebook or Instagram. So you can skip this step, and it would be something you wouldn't have to think about unless you decided in the future, hey, I think I want to try this out. Then you can navigate back into that add an asset tab, and it'll walk you through the steps on adding in that ads account. We're saying ads a lot, but anyhow, it will it'll prompt you through how to get that in there for future reference. So we have moved now from our business assets section in our settings for our blank business portfolio to the people section. So when you're ready to add authorized account users, you can tab into this people section. You'll click this blue invite people button, and this box like this will come up. And I've got a screenshot on top of a screenshot here, so it might get kind of confusing, but if you can see kind of this first image towards the top, whoever created that business portfolio or blank one in the beginning, your name as it appears on Facebook or however you entered it will show up here. And of course, we can see Alaina Boyd is active for our blank portfolio that we created. And when you go to add in people, it asks to enter an email from them. A good kind of rule of thumb, good practice, I would not recommend using their employee email address or another business email address to add folks this way. Whatever email address they've got associated with their personal Facebook account, I would use in this section here. So just kind of keep that in mind. I have tried to do this before by typing in the name of someone as it appears on Facebook. It won't work that way. You do have to use an email, and it can get a little confusing, but just like I say, good rule of thumb, use whatever email is associated with their personal Facebook account, and you should be in good shape. And once you'll hit this blue next button, it'll move you on into the next step, which you can see kind of down here. And you can also assign specific levels of access or management to those folks that you add to your business portfolio. So this screenshot here is just showing access for me specifically at the time for the blank portfolio that I created. Notice that I had full access to everything. So I could assign other people full control, delete the business portfolio, things like that. Ideally, whoever you give full control to, that might be you as the owner, that might be whoever you have designated as your social media person. But you can kind of see the different things you can toggle through. Partial access for folks. There's this middle level here to give access to other apps and integrations. And maybe these kind of cookie cutter options don't work for you. There are more advanced options that you can see down here. You can click through those and kind of assign more specific things to folks as you move through adding authorized users. Kind of a word of caution. I've encountered folks before who maybe they're nervous to give entire control or full control to maybe a person doing their social media. That's okay. That's what this adding authorized users setup is for. So you always want to have someone tied to the business with full control of the portfolio, and then whoever you want to post your content, you can set up their access this way. So now we've worked through some of the bones of that information. I wanted to give you an idea of what an existing business portfolio, one that's been set up already, looks like. So you can see we've got, this is a blown up screenshot, but this would be in the left-hand side of the screen on your desktop. And we've got this drop down menu. This is going to show you all of the business portfolios that you are tied to for whatever personal Facebook account you're logged into. So in this instance, when I took this screenshot, I was logged into my personal Facebook account, and you can see I am active as the A. Boyd Photography business portfolio. So I can see my Facebook page and my Instagram account for A. Boyd Photography, and I have all these other options I can work through, but then the other portfolios that I'm tied to would come further down in this drop-down menu. And you can also see all of the assets that you're linked to in this drop-down as well. So depending on how many pages you're a part of or how many portfolios you have been added to, your drop-down tab may be really long. I know I've got probably 10 or so on mine, but I am on several different Facebook pages. So everyone's will look a little bit different, and that's okay. Nothing to worry about there. So at this point, you guys are ready to move on to creating your first post, and I want to be mindful of our time here. So I might start to move through these a little fast. And if I do, just feel free to throw something in the chat box or use the Q&A feature and it'll catch my attention and I can slow down or tab back to something. But whenever you're ready, you can move on to creating your first post. There are several different ways to get to this create post section. One of the easiest ways is through your dashboard. So the page that we just looked at previously, there's that create post button. However you get to it, it'll bring you to a page like this. And you see all these lovely options we've got down the left side, and then inside this middle section here, you've got all the different things you can add, media to the post, then you got other post details, your scheduling options, boosting. Boosting is different than running an ad. It does still cost money, but you can boost from in here. And this section here on the far right of the screenshot, this is going to be your post preview. Notice we've got a drop down tab here. You can toggle in between Facebook and Instagram as you move through. So this is going to be what you'll see in that create post section. Now notice we had another drop-down bar in the top left section. This is just going to be where you'll select the accounts that you want to post to. So say you have an account or say you have a post that you just want to go to Facebook that day. So you would toggle uncheck the Instagram button here, and then you would just move on with your Facebook clicked. Or if you wanted to publish in any Facebook groups that your page might be a part of, this is where you'll be able to do that here. And of course, we've got this option, see more groups. So it's kind of cool, all the things you can see and select or unselect in this little drop down menu. So kind of diving a little bit deeper into this create post section. Of course, we've got ways to add images and text. So pretty simple. And keep in mind, all of these screenshots are using the desktop version or the computer version of Business Suite, but you'll add your photo in from wherever you have it saved on your device. Here's our Instagram preview. And notice I've got this toggled over for Instagram. You can see all the text I've got here. And then again, our drop down menu to toggle in between Facebook or Instagram. So one other thing that I want to draw your attention to, and then we'll start to move away from actually publishing posts. Notice that there is this customized post for Facebook and Instagram button. I've gotten some questions about this in the past about, well, I don't want what's going on Facebook to be posted to Instagram, because different platforms have different character limits, or maybe you want to use hashtags on Instagram. So you can customize those post details here. And I've got kind of an example of what an Instagram text box or text post might look like versus the text for Facebook. And notice I've got links over here in my Facebook text and I don't on Instagram. Links will not work in the caption or the body of an Instagram post. So we try to not post links in an Instagram caption. And then of course you've got your blue publish button whenever you're ready. So now, ideally, after you click that blue publish button, your posts should start dispersing themselves into the metaverse, as they call it. And hopefully you've started to build a following with your new page. And it's time to check your notifications. So these two screenshots here just kind of give you an idea of what your notifications would look like inside Business Suite specifically. So notice we've got our left-hand tab of options. Click this little bell section for our notifications, and you will get something similar to this. It'll show you you've got high priority. There are ways to filter. And hopefully, as you continue to grow your page and see more interaction, you'll have more notifications as your following grows. And notice that I've got notifications for Instagram and Facebook mixed in here. So the nice thing about Business Suite, you can see everything for both platforms all together at once. And I've got another Q&A. Let's see. Is there a good place to find or test hashtags, or will you cover hashtags in a different webinar? I can touch on that towards the end, as long as I don't run out of time. There are a couple of different apps out there to touch on hashtags. I will come back to that. I won't leave you guys hanging on the hashtag question. So now that we've checked our notifications inside Business Suite, it's also a good practice to remember to check your DMs. So if you've got a young person that ever says, check your DMs, or I'm going to DM you, they just mean direct message. So all a DM is just a direct message, usually sent in Messenger or Instagram, something like that. And as you've probably figured out by now, with Business Suite, you can see all your messages for Facebook and Instagram in one place. You'll find this in your left-hand section of your toolbar. It's this little bubble. And notice that we've got a red little thing signifying that we've got unread notifications in our inbox. So you can see all these things up here at the top. We can filter by all messages. You can see specifically things that have come through in Facebook Messenger, Instagram. If you remember back to the timeline and information about Meta in the beginning, Meta does own WhatsApp. So that's a messaging app that folks can use, that they've now allowed that to be integrated with Business Suite. So if you use WhatsApp for your business, or you link that there, you can even see your WhatsApp notifications inside this page. And then of course we've got comments and Instagram comments. And so notice that anytime you tag someone in a story or in a post, you'll get a message about it in your inbox. So this example for the Rutherford County Extension Office, they had shared one of our stories previously. I got a notification in our inbox about it. All right. So now that you have started posting, one of the ways that I like to keep track of all the content that I've put out on my Facebook and Instagram platforms is to use this content planner. I'm really fond of the monthly view. This may get a little overwhelming for some folks. You may not want to look at the whole month or the whole 30 days. That's okay. You can toggle over into this week section. But notice we've got all of these different colored rectangles in our content planner. So just to hit those quickly, these blue rectangles, Meta's pretty smart. They offer you different holidays throughout the year on your content planner, just to kind of give you a prompt of different things to post about. You don't have to, but it's nice. Say if you forget St. Patrick's Day and you wanted to post a St. Patrick's themed post, you happen to be in your content planner inside Business Suite, and you can see that. All these green rectangles here are posts that have been published already. So at the time that I took the screenshot, it was March 20th. So all these little green squares behind March 20th have is content that's already been posted. And anything in the future, you can see here on the 21st, that 10 a.m. and 10 a.m., those are posts that are scheduled for the future. And really quickly, just to touch on the orange, these are Instagram stories. So that's the difference between the orange there. Let's see, got another Q&A. How far in advance can you schedule posts? And can you make posts for the year in advance and pre-schedule? So you can post as far in advance. I think it's 30 days. So you can't go past 30 days, which I know gets kind of frustrating because even I myself, there are things I know that need to be posted at a set time, but they try to reel you in and keep you in 30 days at a time. The latest that you can schedule a post, it's got to be at least 20 minutes before. So if you try to schedule something, notice I like to post things at 10 a.m. If it gets to be 9:40 or after 9:40, I've waited too late. I can't schedule it. So I just have to post it manually or schedule it for a different time. All right. I want to be mindful of my time here because we've got about 15 minutes and still got some slides to cover. But again, I touched on the difference between the weekly view and the monthly view. Just notice up here in the top left corner, you can toggle between week and month, and you can see how that would look here. Again, the screenshot's older from earlier this year, but still same premise. It still looks the same. Of course, notice all of our past posts. And again, our orange Instagram story. Notice it says archived. If you're confused about what an Instagram story is, that's just a short snippet, maybe a photo or a really short video. You add that it goes away in 24 hours. You can post stories to Facebook as well, but they're really popular on Instagram. So that's a quick look at the content planner. And again, we've got this whole content tab in Business Suite that you can utilize. So you'd get to that content tab. It's in between your calendar icon and your message icon here. So this little, it's almost like a browser window. But that's how you tab into this content section. And there's lots of different options we'll move through in the next couple slides. Let's see. Got another Q&A. You guys are asking good questions today. Yes, yes. April mentions here in the question and answer in that monthly view, Meta will also highlight the times of day during the week your followers are most likely to be active, and then you can choose to schedule the post at that time. So I've got some slides later that'll touch on some things like that. But yes, Meta's pretty smart, and they try to do their best to help you when they can. So you might see a prompt that comes up that says something like your followers are most active at such and such time. You'll see those bubbles as you move through the monthly calendar. But again, this is just a high-level overview of our content tab. And this is an example of a content performance report that you can get from inside Business Suite. This is for a Facebook post. I won't dive too deeply into this as I had planned, just because I've spent so much time earlier in this session talking about other things. But here's an example of what a performance report might look like, and you've got options to go deeper into your engagement and your reach as you need to. So Meta gives you lots of different ways to monitor your content. And one of my favorite ways to do this is to kind of start from the dashboard. that home page that we talked about earlier, if you scroll down far enough, you will hit this section to manage your marketing content. It'll look like a little calendar like this. So this is actually a screenshot from today. So you see this had changed a little bit since the last time I looked at it, but you tab into whatever has been posted here. And for this screenshot over on our right, I clicked into our post from yesterday, and you can see you've got a post details. They've got actually a post ID number. Then there's a post overview, and you can actually see who posted the content from your page. So say maybe there's an issue or you need to keep track of who's posting what. You can always see which specific person with the name from their personal Facebook page has posted that content. And you even have the option to go back further. And there's a button when you scroll down to the end that says view post on Facebook or view post on Instagram. And that will push you directly to the platform to take a look at the post in particular. Another easy way to monitor content inside Business Suite is this feed and grid option. So here's just a high-level overview of what that would look like. If you're unfamiliar with the term grid or feed, for Facebook, you've got a news feed, and for Instagram, on your actual Instagram profile, they have what's called a grid. So the way that posts are laid out on Instagram, they look like this. In this little grid layout, you can tab in between feed and grid, but most folks look at their Instagram profiles as a grid, and this gives you a chance to toggle by date, so you can leave it set to this lifetime view or get into more specific dates and times as you need to. But I really like going back into this section if I need to see something, especially in the Instagram grid. Notice, especially if you're going for a theme or maybe an aesthetic, a lot of our things from CPA tend to relate back to this extension green color, and it kind of looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing if that's something that you're trying to shoot for. Another way to organize and monitor your content, just really quickly, in this collection section, under your content tab, notice we've got a playlist section. So if you add a lot of videos to Facebook, you can add them into playlists, similarly to YouTube. And this gives you a chance to kind of organize your content. Notice we had one for Extension Month in March this year. So I added 4 videos to that. And this just gives you a chance to take a brief look at all your playlists in one place and some of the metrics that Meta will push back to you. And of course, you can see who created those posts as you move through. Sorry, guys, I'm working across 2 screens here and my mouse keeps getting away from me. But again, in that same page, for our collection section on the content tab, notice if you move into your Facebook photos section, it takes you to all the albums you have on your Facebook page. If you don't create any designated albums, Facebook will create some for you. So some of these untitled albums are from Facebook in the early days, where anytime you made a post, it made an album for it. Now we've got this timeline photos or mobile uploads. So just kind of a quick distinction there. Anything that I've posted or anyone posts to a business portfolio from a desktop, it will move into this timeline photos album. If you post it from your phone, even using the Business Suite mobile app, it should go into this mobile uploads album. And everything else here, you can see we made this cover photos album, Facebook makes for you. So that's just another way to keep track of your photo content in Business Suite. I will touch on this very briefly. Business Suite also has a tool under your content tab called A/B testing. So if you want to kind of play around with this, it gives you the option to compare two versions of a post to see which one might get more likes, or what caption or text might grab an audience's attention. It kind of walks you through how to do that. Notice that we've never done an A/B test for any of the content for the center, and I'm still in the CPA's business portfolio in this screenshot. And that's not to say that there's anything wrong with A/B testing. We've just not used it. So don't be afraid to play around with that if that's something that you're interested in. And we're getting into the home stretch here. Another thing I wanted to draw your attention to was the Business Suite mobile app. So notice that almost all of the screenshots, well, all of them that I've provided to you guys in this presentation have come from a desktop browser. So I did all these things in a computer, and there are a lot of things that you can do inside the Meta Business Suite mobile app. But note that there are some meta settings that it may require you to be on the computer in order to make those changes. You can't always access all the features or settings in that mobile app for Business Suite. It is available for Apple and Android smartphones. So if you are worried about, well, will this work for my phone? Odds are it will, as long as it's a smartphone that can use apps. This mobile app is really nice if, say, you're on the go a lot. I can still post when we're at conferences or traveling. I can upload stories to our Instagram account, and you can also post, directly from your phone without having to worry about logging into your desktop to be able to do that. And one of the very last things I wanted to touch on before I opened it up for questions for you guys is to kind of bring your attention to suspended accounts, or what is sometimes referred to as the dreaded Facebook jail. So some of you, especially if you've dealt with Facebook for some time, you may have heard of Facebook jail. That's not the official term. That's what folks refer to it as. But if your account gets suspended, or if you violate Meta community guidelines for any reason, or say someone reports you, then you can get a suspension or a restriction placed on your account. Note that Meta can place a restriction or suspend your business account even if you violate community guidelines on your personal Facebook page. This happened to me. It was something really goofy. I had posted about a Star Wars post for my brother, and Disney is really, really strict about copyright. So I got flagged for violating community guidelines, couldn't post on one of my business pages for a couple days. They might, remove your ability to go live. Sometimes it's really silly, and you can appeal to have those resolved. But kind of a good rule of thumb to avoid ending up in Facebook jail in any way is to just be sure that you're posting authentic content that belongs to you. Be mindful of any of Meta's ad policies. If you violate any of those ad policies, you could potentially end up in Facebook jail. Also, they have hate speech guidelines, bullying guidelines, that kind of thing. So just be mindful of those kind of things as you move forward. The nice thing to know with this is that if your account's restricted or suspended for any reason, you can appeal it, and you can work with the Meta Business Suite Help Center to try to navigate that. The appeal process is pretty simple. I've known folks who have appealed and gotten out of Facebook jail. So it's just a matter of kind of working through the prompts that they send your way if that happens, but hopefully it won't. So I know I've answered some questions along the way as we move through this presentation, and it's getting to be time to wrap up. But I can always run over if anyone has any questions. So I wanted to open the floor up to you all now. If you have any, feel free to drop those in the chat box or in the Q&A. I'll answer those as they come forward. And for my folks who are waiting for my TAEP QR code, any of our Tennessee producers seeking Tennessee Ag Enhancement Program educational credit, our attendance and survey QR code is on the next slide. So I'll make sure you guys get a copy of that before we wrap up. And if there aren't any questions, that's all I had for you guys today. I know we moved through that kind of quickly, so if I need to tab back to anything or maybe explain something better, I can always go back or try to go more in depth into something. I know there was a lot to take in, even just for the bones of dealing with Business Suite, so feel free to let me know. But I'll go ahead and throw up contact information if you guys need it. Again, my name is Alaina Boyd with the UT Center for Profitable Agriculture. Here's some of our contact information, and I'll get these slides over to you guys in our follow-up email at the end of the session. So don't fret if you don't get a picture of it in time or anything like that. And here's our final attendance and evaluation form for the folks that are on live with us today or rewatching this recorded session. I didn't explain this very well in the beginning, but for our Tennessee producers, anyone who is seeking application B, producer diversification educational credit for the Tennessee Agricultural Enhancement Program, this survey and evaluation form will get your name down for working towards some of that credit. If you watch 5 of these webinar sessions in 2024 and fill out 5 evaluation forms by December 31st, your name will be submitted to the TAEP coordinator for educational credit. So when you send in your application B next year, you will have educational credit. And it looks like some folks have jumped off already. So if you guys that are still on with us, if you don't have any questions, feel free to hop off and I can go ahead and end the recording. But thank you guys for joining us today. And I hope to see you again when we have our September session.